Who was the toughest player to guard one-on-one recently?
Carmelo Anthony.
These are 20 times Carmelo Anthony shocked the world.
Carmelo Anthony putting on a show.
This guy, folks, is a scorer's scorer.
The buzzer. Oh, he puts it in from half court.
And coming up first, Melo puts the defender in the blender with this spinning move.
Pass right back up on top. Anthony crossover move, spins, turns, fires, hits.
Melo has one of the most deadly mid-range games. That was one of the most beautiful moves I've ever seen. And coming up next, Melo thinks he's playing for the Harlem Globetrotters when he pulls off this fuckery in the middle of a game.
Cross-court pass, and one that Melo was able to steal, stepped in front of Singleton. And then he pulls up and hits.
I bet that was the last thing Dirk Nowitzki thought that Melo was going to do when he got the ball for that fast break.
You see the play Anthony just made? He kept the dribble alive. He dribbled around the defender.
The Nuggets were down by 1 point against the Raptors, and then Carmelo Anthony stepped up to save the day.
Rolled the name. Billups. Here's Carmelo. Got it. Count it.
Melo always wanted the ball in his hand on the last shot. He never had any fear. Throughout his career, he probably broke every team's heart at least one time, and this time it was Memphis. It was all tied up, and then Melo sends them home in tears.
Anthony fakes, puts it up for the win. It's good with 5/10 of a second remaining.
He has one of the best mid-range jump shots of all time, which is an absolute cheat code in clutch situations. And in his early days on the Nuggets, he was throwing it down on everyone, like the time he threw it down on Yao Ming.
Andre Miller alley.
Yao Ming stands at 9'7" tall, and Melo finished it all over him. Melo really wasn't scared of anyone, because on this occasion here, he gets the ball with about 6 seconds to go with LeBron James guarding him, and he stares him in the eyes and knocks down the game winner on his head.
Anthony, played by James. Anthony with a shot. Yes! What a night! 10 seconds to go.
Doing this on our glorious king is just diabolical. I don't think I've ever seen someone call for an ISO on LeBron at the end of the game. And every now and then Melo would show off his handles and put the defender on skates.
Offensive rebound. He's one of the better offensive rebounders in the league. Carmelo! Carmelo putting on a show.
Melo might be unk status, but he still had the old tricks to break this youngin's ankles. But this wouldn't be the first time Melo caught some ankles, because he sat Thaddeus Young down with this outrageous crossover.
See Mike. Back in the thing.
Anthony! Oh! Crossover. The defender goes down.
Thaddeus Young went sliding across the court. He almost ended up in the third row of the crowd. Carmelo has a pretty underrated crossover, and on this occasion he breaks his opponent's ankles, and then he dunks on the whole team.
Gets his own miss. Straight to the basket. Wow.
He crossed one player, hit the next player with a hezzy, and then dunked on the rest of them. And coming up next, we are going way back in time to 2006, when Carmelo was ready to go home. So he said, "Give me the ball and get out the way."
I guess so. 4 seconds. Down to 3. Carmelo Anthony goes for the win and hits a jumper with 1 second left to play.
And then he proceeded to knock down his iconic mid-range pull-up jump shot for the win. It feels like Melo never missed those mid-range jump shots for the win, because he did it again here against the Sixers when the Knicks were down by 1.
Anthony guarded by Covington. 3 seconds. Carmelo shoots and hits. Carmelo Anthony.
As soon as Melo gets to that mid-range spot, the scoreboard should just update, because that shit is automatic. And on the very rare occasion that Carmelo would actually pass the ball, he would pull off some diabolical shit like this.
Nuggets roll to push it. What a pass that time by Carmelo inside to the net.
That is about as good a pass as you will ever see, and then he puts a little bit of riz on it at the end with a spin. He definitely gained a little bit of aura for that spin move, and he gained a bit of aura for this poster.
We go. Anthony dunks over Ratliff and he's fouled.
He really finished all over him. That is one of the most explicit facials I've ever seen in my life. And coming in at number 7, he makes this corner 3 for the win look way too easy.
Phillips, way at the top. Anthony responding for 3.
Melo's just one of those players that will just hit the most fucked up shots even if you play amazing defense. Sometimes you just gotta feel bad for the opponents. And up next, Carmelo Anthony shocks the world as he drives in and he throws down this vicious windmill slam.
Anthony by Phillips.
I think Kevin Harlan might have the most beautiful voice in human history. Every time I hear it, I get bricked. And now it's time for the top 5 Carmelo Anthony plays that shocked the world. And at number 5 is the time Melo exploded all over this Argentinian.
Carmelo drives.
That is one of the most brutal posterizers I have seen in my 24 years of living. That is ridiculous. And at number 4, the Nuggets are down by 1 and then Melo gets the ball and he hits him with the hezzy and you already know the final result.
Carmelo launches.
I'm telling you, he's never missed a hezzy pull-up in his life. I've never seen one miss. At number 3, we are going to the West semis when the Nuggets had a 2-0 lead, but they were down by 2 points, but then Melo saves the day and knocks it down.
And there's the foul. They didn't call it, and Carmelo hits it.
He would put the Nuggets up by 1 and they would win the game, taking a 3-0 lead, which pretty much means series over because no one has ever come back from 3-0. And coming in at number 2 is the most iconic Carmelo Anthony dunk of his career. He gets the steal and he throws it down.
Gallo pass. Melo! Oh, wow!
This was just one of those plays I remember watching growing up, which made me fall in love with basketball because that shit was so hype. And at number 1 is one of my favorite NBA games of all time, and Mike Breen absolutely cooked with the commentary. And it is of course when Carmelo Anthony sends the crowd into a frenzy as he sends the game to overtime.
Anthony for 3. Bang! That one goes down, and the game is tied.
This moment here to me is so legendary. I think I've watched it about 1,000 times now. But Melo was not done yet because in overtime he knocks down the game winner from the exact same spot and the crowd goes ballistic.
Anthony for 3. Puts it in. Knicks by 1 with 8.2 remaining.
I think if this play never happened, my life wouldn't be the same because this has brought me so much joy and happiness over the time.
Melo can post up, can finish at the rim. He has a mid-range game. He has a 3-ball game. He can pull up left, can pull up right, step back left, step back right. You know, so that gives you a lot of options as an offensive player. And a defender, you got to try to pick which one you want to use to throw him off a rhythm. Yeah, but it's tough though because he's comfortable doing all of those things.
Who would you say was your toughest matchup? Because you take pride in defense. Who's the most difficult player that you've ever had to guard in the NBA?
100% Melo.
Oh, just Melo all up.
100% Melo, bro.